Hello and welcome to a new episode of Library of the Week. This is part of a series of articles I write on Medium about Python libraries, and I try to do them weekly. I make a video for each article, and you can find the link to the article in the description of the video. Today I will be talking about Black, which is a Python library used to format Python code, and instead of seeing how to use it, because it's really very easy to use, you just have to set it in your code editor like Visual Studio Code or Jupyter Lab. We're going to see how to set it up, and once that this setup will be done, it will automatically format your code when you save your documents. So let's see that. So let's see how to install and set up Black with Visual Studio Code. I have a computer I bought recently and it does not have Black installed yet, so I'm going to do it with you. So I opened Visual Studio Code and I created a file. It's called blacktest.py, and here I'm going to just print hello world with Black. So Black is not currently installed in my computer, and what I'm going to do is put a lot of parentheses here. I mean, a lot of space, sorry, between the parentheses. So this is obviously not good formatted code. And when I save this file, well, it just saves it, right? And it remains like this. And obviously, if I execute this code in the terminal, it's going to print hello world with Black. Here it prints it. And basically this code works because it's okay-ish Python code. I mean, for the Python interpreter, this is good code, but this is obviously not well formatted for a human being. And this is the goal of Black, is to format the code in a way that is consistent and that is easy to read for humans, and that follows the PEP 8 implementation. And so the first thing I'm going to do is install Black. I do a pip install. Okay, so you pip install it. In my case, I had installed it just before, but it's not yet, as you can see, configured in my Visual Studio Code. And this is what we're going to do right now. So let's set up Black and make it auto format our code when we save the code on Visual Studio Code. The first thing we need to do is open the settings. For that, we can come here to Manage in the bottom left of Visual Studio Code and click on Settings. If you see, you can also press Control, comma, and it will open the settings. Both ways are acceptable. And the first thing we're gonna do is type here format on save and click here. This is the first step. And that should be it. In my case, since I told you I just installed Visual Studio Code in this new computer, it comes with an extension, which is the Microsoft Python extension. If this is installed, you don't have any further steps. Just by doing the format on save that we just did, you should be good. You will find on the internet extra steps. I believe they made this process simple. If we click on the extension, in the information, you will find that it allows code formatting with Black, AutoPep, or YAPF. And now we have this Python string that is poorly formatted. Oops. And when I click on save or I press Ctrl S, you see Black is working here. Now my file is saved and it's been automatically formatted. with black. So it's really that easy, and this is really a super important thing to have, I believe. It takes like a couple minutes and it will improve your coding without doing almost anything so much. So I really think you should install this in VS Code if that's what you use, or whatever other editor you're using. Now we're going to see how to install this on Jupyter Lab. So let's now see how to configure Black for Jupyter Lab. There is a different extension that requires that you have Black installed first, and it's Jupyter Lab Code Formatter. This is the GitHub repo with the documentation. As you can see, it's pretty easy to do. You just have to pip install the code formatter, and then, or before, you have to install Black, which we already did, and iSort. So this is another automatic formatter that will sort your imports by alphabetic order. So let's start with the beginning. I'm coming here, in case of you didn't know, when you press an exclamation mark inside of a Jupyter Lab or Jupyter Notebook, this becomes like a CLI, like a terminal, and I can do my, oops, I had it copied here, Jupyter Lab code formatter. So pip install Jupyter Lab code formatter with this exclamation mark will pip install it like if I was in the terminal. Okay, so now this is installed, and I'm gonna install, if it is not already, iSort. I know Black is installed for sure. Pip install iSort. Okay, so it was already satisfied. So, but keep in mind that you have to install it. And now we have to restart our Jupyter Lab. So I reopen my Jupyter Lab, and see here we have this little symbol. This allows us to format our Python code. So let's write some print like we did before, with a lot of spaces between parentheses. So hello world with Black in Jupyter Lab. And let's also put some spaces here and here. So this works like it's supposed to, and if I click here, okay, so I'm back. As you just saw, I had an error, and I decided to keep that part of the video, or that video, because I had to stop recording, because the error I had was due to a dependency problem. So this is what I did. Well, I did some research, and I just had to install the previous version of Black, because this Jupyter Lab extension has a problem with the newest version. By the way, the newest version of Black is from 5 days ago, so I believe they probably will fix it, and there is a big chance that you will not have this error when you try this, if you try this, but if not, just, maybe try installing a different version of Black. And so I did that, and now I can come and click here in this format notebook, and boom, see, it works now. So now that we have this button that works, let's do this again. I'm going to save the notebook. I do Control S, and now the notebook is saved. But you see, it's not saving, it's not formatting the notebook on save. So either, if you like to have the button that you can press and it formats the notebook like this, the advantage of this would be that you can choose whether you want or not to apply the formatting by just clicking the button. Now, if you click it, it's going to format the whole notebook. You cannot tell him format this cell, but not this cell. It's not format. It will not format cell by cell. It will format the whole notebook when you click this. Now, if you want it to be formatting, sorry, when you save the notebook, you have to go to the advanced setting editor. And so go to Jupyter Lab Code Formatter. And so you have a JSON setting editor. You come here. Okay, so you come to the Jupyter formatter, and here when it says format on save, it says false. This is the default, and you set it to true and save the file. So now let's come back to the notebook, and what I'm going to do is save. And see, I didn't have to press here, and it now saves the notebook. It now formats, the notebook every time I save. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like it if you liked it, subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell. It would help me tremendously. And if there is a Python library you would want me to talk about, just leave a message in the comments below and I will get back to you soon. Until next time.